Shout out to the truth is the truth regardless. I couldn't believe when you sent me this. People, you see it for yourselves. Wendy's manager pours hot oil on customer who complained about cold food. Tennessee cops say, so I guess that's how they're getting down in Tennessee in the USA. Okay. Wow. So you put hot grease on them. I've heard a song say throw some D's on them, but not, throw some grease on them. Haven't heard that one. So fair use, article by Tanisha Kinney. How does you put the hot grease on the customer? That's not how it's supposed to go down. Wendy's manager was arrested and charged after he allegedly doused the customer with hot oil after dispute over cold food. Tennessee police say. The manager of Tennessee Wendy's, accused of throwing hot grease on a customer during a dispute over cold food, is now facing criminal charges. The customer was burnt up pretty bad. After Damaris Pritchett, you think he's African American? Damaris, age 23, allegedly attacked him with a pan of hot oil at the fast food restaurant in Huntington last week, according to police. Pritchett was arrested October 6th on an aggravated assault charge. We would not want to hear of this happening anywhere and certainly regret that it did so in this community, Huntington Public Safety Director Walter Smothers said in a statement. The incident unfolded after the customer ordered at the drive-thru but pulled back around to complain that his food was cold, according to a police report obtained by McClathy News. An argument ensued, and that's when the police said Pritchett, who was working as a shift manager, he betrayed the pan of hot oil and doused the man with it. Part of the attack was captured on store surveillance, police said, and shows Pritchett going into the kitchen before returning to the drive-thru window with the pan. The victim was taken to Baptist Memorial Hospital with severe burns to his arm and left side, according to the report. Following his arrest, police said Pritchett acknowledged throwing the hot oil and said the customer had been harassing him for several weeks about dogs. McClatchy News reached out to Wendy's on Tuesday and is awaiting a response. Smothers called the incident unthinkable and asked that the state's Attorney General's office prosecute to the highest level possible. Huntington is about 116 miles of Nashville. Was that stress level too high? I'm not seriously. What did he think was going to happen when he put the man complaining, hey, this food is cold. So what was he going to do? Was he going to basically, pour the hot grease on the food to warm it up? Or are you just did you become so unhinged? If the person is harassing you, I think what probably should have happened would have been to contact the police and maybe have no trespass, where he cannot come any longer to that particular Wendy's location. But you can't go throwing that hot grease on them. I mean, we know the story about Al Green and the hot grits. And I know we've seen some people kind of act out in the fast food restaurants, establishments, and people joke in the comment section, oh man, they got that grease back there. So I'm thinking this guy took it too hard. They not only got the grease, man, he gave that customer a new kind of heat. You want some cold food? People don't want cold food. You have to kind of give them what they want. All he had to do, and if he was so stressed out, get one of those girls on the counter, let one of them handle it. Just tell the man, hey, we'll make it over, and just walk away. Sometimes that's just the best thing to do. So he said the man had been harassing him for weeks over a dog, which I'm not understanding what that's about. If the guy was trying to sell dogs, or maybe he just said that. Sometimes people, when they realize they made a hell of a mistake, they may just say something to have a response, and you're like, okay, that is so nonsensical, or what are you talking about? But now they're saying to go ahead and prosecute him to the full extent of the law. The sad thing is he's going to face these criminal charges. The man is burned. Wendy's sweetie, corporate office, get ready for those papers, because some lawsuit papers are surely, maybe not today, but some lawsuit papers are surely coming your way. A person has been burned. So yeah, Wendy's, they're definitely, I guarantee you that person is going to legal lawyer up and file a lawsuit. In the meantime, the manager, sometimes we have to stop and just breathe and think. But Damaris, I think his name was Damaris. Let's get it right. Yeah, Damaris Prickett, who allegedly attacked the man with the pan of hot oil. Damaris Prickett, age 23 years old. Yeah, this gonna probably be your last management job. This will be it for you, boo. You couldn't control your anger. A hot head. Life is business, and I wish at some point, having kids, people could have a conversation. Things are going to happen. We can't always control the things that happen to us. However, and it is true, and I've heard that before, and I was like, yeah, but I don't like that, and I really don't like that saying. But it's like, yo, we can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. And I wish she had reacted this way, because, dude, somebody's burned. Definitely a felony, and you may go up. Get some years, and it's not worth it to let that person get you so out of character. You popped off, went off. I mean, you resorted to the hot grease. It's the same, but he literally, allegedly, based on the article, resorts to the hot grease. You have to learn how to control your anger. So now you're going to have a whole lot of time to think about it. Who the hell do you think is going to hire DeMario? Nobody. This is seriously, you probably can get a job in the fast food. Don't think. So emotional. And I think too, sometimes, I hate to say this, but I think sometimes when you're in environments, Poverty D and Poverty P, she's the incubator. Poverty D is supposed to be the head. That brings on a lot of stress and a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of heartache. Because you know what? Like, everything is so rough. You got to fight. Everything gets to survive. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a fight. Because Poverty D, you have nothing. Life is tough as it is. But aside from being a minority, you got Poverty D pockets and a Poverty D mindset. Oh yeah, it's going to get hella sad for you. And that's the unfortunate reality. And I think that's why so many of these young ones and these Dusties and Dustinas, they're so emotional. Bump into one, before you can say, I'm sorry, boop, that I'm bopped your eye. It's about to say, I'm sorry, but you already got physical. Have a car accident, you ready to get out and start fighting. Oh, fight. Why? That little piece of car is all they've got. What about insurance? That's the common sense thing to do. When they're like that, all that thought process, it goes out the window. Common sense. Just get the insurance. If they don't have insurance, maybe you have uninsured motorists. Let's hope you have the applicable coverage to cover yourself. Get out boxing. You want to throw some D's on somebody. You want to get the fisticuffs. You want to get chest boxing, and then end up locked up. Your car's still messed up, and now, yeah, you kind of got a little felony going for you. Was it worth it? And the answer is no. But you don't hear me though. 23 years old. The guy's harassing him. He just blew his top. And we got some real hot and poured on that man. Damaris Pritchett, 23. Allegedly, I'll say. Poured that hot grease on that man. Lord, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's some things you think about in your life, you gotta be kidding. He was literally walking with that hot grease like, oh yeah, Your food is cold. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show about some cold food. Wow. And yeah, it's on camera. So anger, a letter away from danger. So this is the first I've seen. Again, shout out. The truth is the truth regardless. Exactly. And that Greece was hot regardless. And now DeMarcus done got. All this over some food when all we have to do is just sometimes just kind of stop, back up. You think it's something, it's not even worth it. I mean, we all met somebody like, oh my gosh, if I was like invisible, I would just hit you upside your head with that frying pan like in that commercial. They used to have a go to corral commercial, and it would come like, boop, you want to hit somebody upside the head. Well, we know we can't do that. So this young 23 years old, you made a horrible decision. And the sad thing is that happened so fast. Guess what? The lasting effects of what happened is going to last a long time. A split second decision. Boop, get that hot grease. You complain about the food. Oh, okay, get that hot grease. And it's not your restaurant. Just make the food over again, crying out loud. It's business. Make it over again. Give them that little cheap, high cholesterol foods. What I'm thinking. Give it to them and keep on moving. But that anger. So I kind of think too, it's probably something else going on when people react that way. It's something else going on in their lives that they can't handle. It's like you have come in with a little adversity. It's blown out of proportion, and boom, it's on. You getting ready to get the brunt of everything that is going on wrong with them. You getting ready to face it. They're going to put that anger out on you. So this right here is unfortunate. A split decision. You decide to go hood on them, or I'm going to show them. Split decision, the lasting effect, he hasn't thought about that. But when they arrest you and you're in jail, you'll see. Might get some years behind it. But you looking for a jail beat? Good luck. You might have to try to get you a side hustle. Background check this on it. I don't see who would take a chance on him. Because why? DeMarcus has proven himself to be a liability. And that's why you listen to now on the YouTube streets real quick. Some women say, I'm not carrying that liability. That is a serious conversation going on right now. They're like, I'm not carrying that liability. Look at the daddy, the man. Is he a Dusty? A Dusty's a liability. So you have Dusty Jr. What the heck do you think you're going to get? What kind of asset? An asset that's full of dust. That's what you're going to get. And some women are waking up to it and they're like, I'm not putting myself through it. I think too much of myself. So you got to be very careful with who you breed. Very careful of who's going to carry their seed. You got to be very careful. Very careful. So we'll wait for the follow-up to see what's going to happen to DeMarcus Prickett on the allegations of getting that hot grease. So yeah, I guess he did a substitute, so to throw some D's on it, he gonna throw some grease on it. Again, shout out to the truth is the truth regardless. When I saw this, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I couldn't believe it. But this here, lack of critical thinking skills is what happens in the community. And that's why sometimes we're in the shape that we're in. Lack of critical thinking skills. Becoming too emotional. Anyway, look forward to your comments. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification button. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Stay safe.